A little bit unlucky, I think, in the end. But at the same time, is credit to Carolina. I thought they were excellent, especially in the first half. I actually think the weather delay helped us a bit, to be able to reorganize and recalibrate in some ways. I thought we did a much better job with the ball in the second half. We just weren't able to really create dangerous opportunities. They did a really good job defending and keeping numbers behind the ball and good in transition. But no, I mean, a little bit on me. It is we didn't have answers in terms of how to break them down. So we gotta live and we gotta learn. Obviously, it's disappointing. I just told the guys. I mean, they're gutted. And there's two different ways seasons end. You can be, or after losses too, right? You can get really upset, and like in a bad mood, or you can be emotional and just leave it out, everything out there. And they're all emotional now. Because the group left it out there, and that's what I'm most proud of this group. This group has been through more adversity than I've ever seen in a group. And I know when people think about adversity, they think about COVID. That's the least of our worries, at least in the team. I know that sounds very probably maybe not empathetic to what's going on in the world, but in the big picture, it really is, from injuries to departures to, scheduling and not knowing what tomorrow is going to bring. For me, I'm extremely proud of this group. They were first class in the way they handled themselves both on and off the field this entire season, and look forward to the future.
Bobby, on the goal that they got to make it 2-1, good initial stop on the free kick, and it just is that the unlucky part, which just kind of fell right in the guy's foot right there on the rebound.
Yeah, and to a dangerous player, right? So for me, is a great finish from a great player. We got to do a better job, obviously, in tracking runners. We said even pregame, in restarts, maybe it's not the first one, but you got to know where your guy is on the second one, and unfortunately, we lost that. But again, it was early enough where I thought we were going to be able to get a couple of chances. I thought Nico's chance at the end of the game was really good, and really good soccer to get into that spot. But again, is just a bit unlucky at that point.
Bobby, it seemed like your team really possessed the ball a lot in the second half, but it just seems like you failed to turn that possession into dangerous opportunities. Is that a fair assessment?
No, very good. For a non-soccer guy, Les, that was pretty good. Yeah, no, it's we need, not just to keep the ball, we need the possession for penetration, and our penetration was lacking. We had, Omar was playing in the back line. He needed to come off the line a little bit more. I think, we switched formations. We're probably about 14, 15 minutes left. And even at the last 4 minutes, we switched again when they got a guy sent off and almost went to two. Little disappointed. Takuma Suzuki was playing way too deep for us. In that system, we needed to push him on and play him in the center of midfield and get him higher up the field, playing in between lines. And I think that could have opened up some things on top of the box. But, yeah, just a little bit unlucky. I thought our running in behind was stale. I thought we had really good running in behind the other day against Kentucky and against Coastal. And just I've said this before in the postseason, just a bad day to have a bad day in the final third.
Bobby, you've talked a lot about this team and how they've kind of grown. What do you think this team will take the most into the fall, which is, 4.5 months away, 4 months away? I mean, it's pretty quick turnaround. What do you think they'll take into the fall?
Yeah, I just hope with just a lot of experience. We've played some really good teams and really tough teams. I mean, the spirit that Carolina played with, I said this the other day, is some of the best spirit that I've seen. I mean, even how amped up they were getting when we miscued a ball, it went over the end line. They wanted a little bit more than us. I think is their experience being a little bit of an older team. Obviously, I've mixed in some young guys, but some transfers, some older guys. I think that spirit was definitely something that we can learn from, in this game is something we can learn from. But we played, you got to realize, John, right? We played predominantly an ACC schedule. I think you tinkle in Davidson, UAB, man, we played an exhibition against Villanova, and then ACCs, and even in the NCAA tournament, right? And we had a good Coastal team and a good Kentucky team. So this team is battle tested. They know that they can play with the best. Now we just got to get better.
Coach, will you look back on this with any what ifs, specifically in terms of those players who left, key players, whether it was, to the draft or some of those contracts they signed that normally you would have for this kind of run in the postseason?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing I can do. It's not a what if, right? I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about, if the MLS offers a homegrown contract, and I can't do anything about, I'll never try to convince a kid to stay, because you need kids, especially at Wake Forest, and the way the academic loads are, to the demands that we have for our student athletes. You can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So I don't have any regrets with that. Obviously, would I love for some of those guys to be here and fight with us? And do they give us a different way of winning? For sure. I'm not even going to say a better way of, a better chance of winning, because I don't think that's fair to the young men that were out here today. Because this team has taken on a different identity and a different personality than the team in the fall. So yeah, it would be nice to have more depth and a little bit more, true dynamic players. But from a what if perspective in this game, yeah, I could have probably made a couple of different changes, maybe in the center of the park, to see if we can get forward a little bit more. And that's something I'll regret probably the rest of my coaching career. And like I told the guys, I don't take it for granted being in a quarterfinal. You never know when you're going to be back at these. And I think talked about it at lunch. I think we got to be, I say we, collective, the Wake Forest community, the Wake Forest athletics department, our fans, ourselves. We have to be, we have to exercise humility with all of this, and just say that this isn't, you want to expect to be here, but we have to celebrate that we are here. You think about how many programs don't have the opportunity to be in a quarterfinal. And I think sometimes, soccer's in a quarterfinal. These guys worked hard and sacrificed a lot to get to this point. It needs to be celebrated and not taken for granted. So I told these guys they need to be proud. I need to celebrate, you know what I mean? Internally, we can't do it externally. You look like a silly fool right now doing that. But we have to walk away with this with great pride.
Bobby,
Coach, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask Bobby about Jay and what he's done with his job at Pittsburgh and him getting to the College Cup. I mean, it's quite a transformation, 4 or 5 years there at Pittsburgh. I know you know him pretty well, obviously. Yeah,
I'm extremely happy for Jay. Hopefully I was one of the first ones to reach out to him when I saw the final whistle go. What he's done is absolutely incredible, but I don't want to lose sight of this young team just made it to the Elite Eight, and we're talking about Pittsburgh. So again, Jay and I will have our conversations, and I'll celebrate with him, and I'll follow him here this week, and hoping that the ACC wins an a national championship, be it Pittsburgh or Carolina. I think it just shows you how strong this conference is. And Jay's, the hiring of Jay Vidovich at Pittsburgh, from the day the ink was dry, this conference got better. And if anyone's surprised that this happens, they just don't know college soccer. So there's literally no surprise. Just when you have one of the best coaches, one of the best people in the game, leading the program, you're going to be successful. So, but I don't want to lose sight with me here in this situation, talking about Pittsburgh and Coach Jay, which I love to death. I want to talk about my guys and the grit and the resiliency that they've shown here this entire spring.
Coach, you said the guys were emotional back there. Was this perhaps the strangest end of season post game for you, because you don't have to say goodbye to anybody?
I mean, hey, Les, I've been doing this long enough. I'm never surprised, what happens at an end of a season. But yeah, I think we just need to make sure that we grow from it, right? And we have to grow from it. And I think we had a little bit of a change in mentality and a growth mentality come when we got into the postseason, where, I was hard on the guys, and I just told them I've been hard. Maybe I say things that they don't like. Maybe I'm pushing their buttons the wrong way. And the emotion of it, I apologize, but at the same time, they need to be pushed outside their comfort zone. Too many young players, too many young people, men, women, when they come from comfortable club environments, even the MLS professional environments, they come to college to be pushed and to get better and develop. And it's not easy. If it was easy and winning was easy and being a pro or being the best at your craft is easy, everybody would be doing it. So that's probably what I'm looking forward to most, Les. I just told them is that gauge that we turned up a little bit, in the postseason. Can we continue that when we get back here in August? Let's be fair. We'll have a target on our back if Pittsburgh wins the national championship or Carolina wins a national championship. Indiana, I think Indiana won. If they win a national championship, for me or Marshall. So congratulations to those 4 teams that are still getting an opportunity to play. But for me, we're going to have a target on our back, and there's going to be unrealistic expectations like there always is. And we're going to try to continue to meet them or exceed them.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys.
Congratulations on the season.
Thank you
Very much.